President Trump gave an amazing speech over in Davos, Switzerland for the World Economic Forum. There were quite a few noteworthy moments that produced laughter, surprise, applause, and everything in between. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about President Trump's speech in Davos, Switzerland for the World Economic Forum. Now, this event is still ongoing as I'm recording this video. I saw quite a few people, the who's who of the who's who go up. I saw Elon Musk. I saw the president of France, Macron, with his sunglasses talking about some, I got a pop blood vessel. Okay, cool, whatever you say. I saw quite a few people get up there and speak. And again, it is still ongoing. But I think President Trump's speech is important to highlight because he went up there and just spoke his mind, didn't really care about any kind of outrage or backlash, didn't care about that, just went up there and said what needed to be said. Now, before I go any further, let's get straight to the clips. Of course, I will link to everything in the box if you want to see it and hear it without my commentary. If you're on IG, Facebook, etc., visit the link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Home ownership has always been a symbol of health and vigor of American society, but that goal fell out of reach for millions and millions of people in the Biden era because interest rates went up so high. Today, I'm taking action to bring back this bedrock of the American dream. In recent years, Wall Street giants and institutional investment firms, many of you are here, many of you are good friends of mine, many of you are supporters. Sorry to do this to you, I'm so sorry. But you've driven up housing prices by purchasing hundreds of thousands of single-family homes, and it's been a great investment for them. Often as much as 10% of houses on the market. You know, the crazy thing is a person can't get depreciation on a house, but when a corporation buys it, they get depreciation. Okay, that's something we're going to have to think about too. I don't know if too many people think about that. You buy a corporation, they buy 500 houses, they buy hundreds of thousands, they buy 500 houses, they can take depreciation. A person sweats and works and buys one house, they can't. But homes are built for people, not for corporations, and America will not become a nation of renters. We're not going to do that. That's why I have signed an executive order banning large institutional investors from buying single-family homes. It's just not fair to the public. They're not able to buy a house. And I'm calling on Congress to pass that ban into permanent law, and I think they will.
Okay, now there's some things about this, about the investors, the large corporations buying homes, your BlackRock and whatnot. The problem is a lot of Americans don't want the responsibility of home ownership, and they want a McMansion. They want a big 3,000 square foot, 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom home without paying the money necessary to buy it, without paying the money necessary to be able to maintain it. What I think should happen is we should have more smaller homes, affordable homes, older homes become attractive rather than these McMansions, all the accoutrements, all the beauty. We got to get rid of that ideology, in my humble opinion. Now, let's keep on going about how the U.S. is the economic engine of the world.
Last 3 months, core inflation has been just 1.6%. Meanwhile, fourth quarter growth is projected to be 5.4%, far greater than anybody other than myself and a few others had predicted. Since the election, the stock market has set 52 all-time high records. So that's in 1 year, 52 records, adding $9 trillion in value to retirement accounts, 401ks, and people's savings. People are doing very well. They're very happy with me. Since my inauguration, we've lifted more than 1.2 million people off of food stamps, and after 4 years in which Biden secured less than $1 trillion of new investment in our country. Think of that, 1 trillion, substantially less than that. In 4 years, we've secured commitments for a record-breaking $18 trillion, and we think when the final numbers come out, they'll be closer to $20 trillion of investment. That's never been done by any country at any time, not even close. Just over 1 year ago, under the radical left Democrats, we were a dead country. Now we are the hottest country anywhere in the world. In fact, the United States economy is on pace to grow at double the rate that was projected by the IMF just last April. And with my growth and tariff policies, it should be much higher. I really believe we can be much higher than that. And this is all great news, and it's great for all nations. The USA is the economic engine on the planet, and when America booms, the entire world booms. It's been the history. When it goes bad, it goes bad. You all follow us down, and you follow us up, and we're at a point that I don't believe we've ever been.
There we go. So shout out to Trump. Things looking up for sure, because under Biden, it was not quite that way. Not at all. Now, Greenland. Now, before I play this, there's like a deal, or how Trump say, the concept, the structure of a deal about Greenland. And from what I read, Greenland's able to maintain sovereignty. Well, Denmark is able to maintain sovereignty, but the U.S. is going to have more control over Greenland. That's what I read. It's still really early. All the details not available. But let's see what he said here about Greenland.
So we want a piece of ice for world protection, and they won't give it. We've never asked for anything else, and we could have kept that piece of land, and we didn't. So they have a choice. You can say yes, and we will be very appreciative, or you can say no, and we will remember.
There you go. Now, what he said about we could have kept the land. At what point in history we had control of Greenland? I'm not quite sure when that was. You guys, you history buffs, let me know in the comments when we had it. But I believe it might have been during the war, or at some point we had it and we gave it back. Now, remember, Denmark sold us the U.S. Virgin Islands. They had that as part of their legacy of colonialism, but they gave it to us. Well, we bought it from them. I forget what the price was, but it was all in gold. So why not do the exact same thing right here, or something similar to it? We've already done it before with the same nation. Let's do another deal. And again, I think that a framework for a deal is pretty much set in stone. And Trump said that it'll be forever, not just a 99-year lease, a 9-year lease, forever.
And then after the war, which we won it big. Without us, right now, you'd all be speaking German and a little Japanese, perhaps. After the war, we gave Greenland back to Denmark. How stupid were we to do that? But we did it. But we gave it back. But how ungrateful are they now?
There we go. So again, that's about the war, how we had it, and then we gave it back. So speaking German and Japanese, I suppose that's World War II. Maybe my history is a little bit off, but again, y'all will correct me in the comments. Okay. Now, Canada. Y'all want to talk crazy? And when I say y'all, I mean Mark Carney, your prime minister. You want to talk crazy, Mark? Better watch your mouth. All right, let's watch this.
Building a golden dome that's going to, just by its very nature, going to be defending Canada. Canada gets a lot of freebies from us, by the way. They should be grateful also, but they're not. I watched your prime minister yesterday. He wasn't so grateful. But they should be grateful to us. Canada lives because of the United States. Remember that, Mark, the next time you make your statements. We're building.
Hey, remember that, Mark. Next time you want to talk crazy, making your little statements, remember where the bread is butter. Remember that. I'm just saying. And as far as a golden dome, that's going to be a thing that is on Greenland. And of course, because of the proximity to Canada, it will by default be able to defend Canada as well. So remember that, Mark. Next time you want to talk crazy, hey, without us, there is no you. But shout out to the Canadians. You guys are good people. But your leaders, I don't know. It's a different story. Okay. Now, a little bit about Minnesota and the Somalis. A little teeny bit, not too much.
The situation in Minnesota reminds us that the West cannot mass import foreign cultures which have failed to ever build a successful society of their own.
Exactly, because when you bring them in mass, they're not going to do anything other than what they've been doing. If you're going to bring people like that in, you got to bring them in small numbers so they're able to become acclimated to the culture that surrounds them in their new place, rather than just importing an existing culture from one place to another, or exporting. In this case, you're going to export Somali culture to America. That doesn't make sense. If a person is going to come from Somalia, they need to come to America and become American. It's just that simple. And if they don't, then it's just not going to work out, as we see the results of that in Minnesota. Fraud, fraud, fraud. Now, of course, Trump had to give some credit to our guy, at least my guy, my favorite guy right now, Marco. And no more little Marco. It's big Marco.
COVID. I used to call it the China virus, but he said, do you think you could use a different name? And I decided to do that, because why should we have a problem over that? But I would do that, and they were.
You're a true diplomat, huh?
I became a diplomat for the first time. Well, you know who taught me that? Marco Rubio. He said, let me teach you about diplomacy. Hey, any guy that gets approved by 100% of the votes, think of it, he got liberal Democrats and radical right Republicans to approve him. He's the only one. The next one was like lost 45 votes, right? But he got all 100 votes voting for him. And at first I wasn't happy about it. I said, wait a minute, COVID.
There we go. So shout out to Marco. Marco's doing a fantastic job. I like Marco a lot. He's great. Okay. But as I close, I want to say this. Shout out to President Trump for going over there to Davos, Switzerland for the World Economic Forum and giving a great speech. I believe Trump was 79 or 80 years old, right around that. Either way it goes. He's up there in age. He's old, but he still has vim. He still has vigor. He's still able to govern competently, unlike the previous guy, Joe Biden. This guy was incompetent before he got in office. He was incompetent when he was of the right in his right mind. He was incompetent under Barack Obama. But then once he got into the White House in 2020, he was incompetent in general, but also old and losing his marbles. Trump is the exact opposite of that, so I'm glad we have him. And after Trump, I think we're going to have Marco. I like JD, and that's fine, but Marco, come on, man. We need you to carry the torch, in my humble opinion. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Did you see Trump's speech at Davos? Have you seen anyone else at Davos? Whatever your thoughts are on the whole thing, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I think Trump did a fantastic job, represented us very well in the USA. And I like what he was talking about, the economic things that we're doing. Greenland, that's going to be something that's very important to us. I like all of what I heard during this speech over at Davos. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.